Alright, so hey guys, me Adson today guys, I'll be giving you guys my match preview for Atletico Madrid vs Liverpool. First leg will be taking place February 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and the return leg will be taking place March 11th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Alright, so yeah, here you guys, and today we'll be talking about Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool. And so before we start off this video, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. This will be a very interesting test of strength. It'll be basically an all-defense team versus an all-offense team. Diego Simeone versus Jurgen Klopp, who will reign supreme in this two-legged tie in the Champions League. And let me just go ahead and outright say this. While this may seem easy to predict, it'll be very fascinating to watch. It'll be very fascinating to watch. I think this game will be very enjoyable from start to finish. And we will really see a lot of good defensive displays and a lot of very good attacking displays as well. Anyhow, going on to the head-to-head. So here's the head-to-head record and for the both teams. So both teams, I would say, are very relatively even. You can see no team is like really dominating the other head-to-head wise. And the most recent game took place in April 2010. In the Europa League semifinal where Liverpool won that game against Atletico Madrid, guys. I did not even know about this. It was that long ago, and it's going to be pretty much almost a decade. So, a very quick, fast facts for you guys. I'm pretty sure most of you guys probably didn't know that. Unless you're a diehard Liverpool or diehard Atletico Madrid fan. And you were a fan from that long ago. Anyhow, so let's move into the European form. So let's go ahead and briefly talk about their Champions League run this season and last season. Okay, so far in the group stage, Atletico Madrid finished second in a Group D, and I would say this was a pretty comfortable group for them. Like, it was expected they would go through. However, the way they went through was really disappointing. I was really disappointed in how it went all the way down to the wire. Like, I don't know, man. Like, they did not play too well overall speaking. Like, they had to rely on penalties to, like, a penalty call to beat Lokomotiv Moscow. I mean, ridiculous, man. Like, Atletico Madrid, they were looking so great at the beginning of the season when they thrashed Real Madrid 7-3, guys. I don't know if you guys remember that, 7-3. And then there was an incredible comeback, 2-0 down against Eibar and won 3-2 at the Wanda Metropolitano, man. That's incredible, man. Like, they played so well. I predicted so much highs for them. In fact, I even went on to say, like, they're going to win the Group D, like, against Juventus. Like, I was that convinced, like, they played really well because to me, Juventus didn't really play too well. Like, I wasn't really liking Juventus that much. We'll get to them a little later. And just, yeah, man, I'm really disappointed with how they played so far in the season. As for Liverpool, they finished first in Group E in a very relatively difficult group, you can argue, with facing RB Salzburg and Napoli. With all due respect, I don't think Genk really superiorly tested them that much. I think Napoli really tested them. I mean, they couldn't even beat Napoli over the two games. And thankfully for them, Napoli dropped points against RB Salzburg, and which is the reason why they finished first. Because otherwise, they wouldn't have finished first, guys. They would have finished second. And so I guess they kind of got a little lucky there. You know. And last season, speaking of which, Juventus, Atletico Madrid lost against Juventus in the round of 16 with that incredible Ronaldo comeback at the Turin Stadium. As for Liverpool, they won in the final against Tottenham Hotspur at the Wanda Metropolitano, which could be important for them in this game. I'm not really sure how significant that will be. I'm sure it's some value. All right. So domestically speaking, Atletico Madrid are currently fourth right now in the league with 39 points, and just behind Getafe as we speak of February 12th, 2020. And Liverpool are currently first in the league with 73 points, and they're probably set to win the Premier League. Okay, and domestically speaking, I don't think Atletico are looking too good, you know. And the fact that they're fourth in the league, which could be really disparaging, you know, they may not even get to third. I mean, Diego Simeone has managed to get this side the lowest they've ever reached under Diego Simeone is third place. They never reached lower than third. And his tenure this season could be an exception. This season may not go as well. That remains to be seen, though. Anyway, so the biggest strengths and weaknesses for each team, I would say, is that Atletico Madrid, their strength is very high work rate. Like, they can easily, they're very capable of defending very well. They can easily defend well, and they're known for defending. They're known for making teams hard to play against. They can always frustrate teams. They can always make it difficult for opposition to score against them. They very so tight and very narrow, which is very difficult. It's very difficult, and Liverpool knows it itself because Napoli played in that kind of formation at 4-4-2, where Liverpool couldn't really break Napoli down over the 2 games this season, and Atletico Madrid could easily replicate Napoli's form, although, let's be real, Atletico Madrid are not as good as Napoli, offensively speaking. Defensively, they're obviously better, but still, that was under Carlo Ancelotti. So, keep that in the back of the mind. As for the weakness, obviously, they can't score. They can't score many goals. They hardly ever score, and that's just been a huge problem. That's a huge problem. You can't really win stuff without scoring. That's just the natural thing. And that's just part of life, As for Liverpool, they have a very well-balanced squad. They have a very high depth. And I think, to me, this is the biggest strength. I try to make it I couldn't really find anything that really sets the biggest strengths. It was pretty hard for me. So I kind of just took the easiest one and just said, okay, they have a very squad. They're everywhere in the pitch. They balance. Their attack is great. Their midfield is great. And as I said, so Liverpool are just very good. Midfield, defense, forward area, very good. High depth. They brought in Minamino over the winter transfer window from RB Salzburg, which goes to show you that they are trying to improve their squad little by little, and world-class goalkeeper. I do notice, though, Liverpool can't really seem to finish off games. They can't put the game to bed. I saw against Tottenham Hotspur, they missed some sitters, and I saw against Wolves, they missed some sitters. I don't think it would necessarily cost them too much in this game. However, it's obviously they should try to minimize that, obviously, because they may not get that many chances against Atletico Madrid. As I said before, Jan Oblak has been incredible, and although Atletico Madrid aren't as good as recently speaking, they're still a good team to play against. While I'm saying all this criticism and all that, they're still a good team, and they're still 4th in the table. Jan Oblak is still a great goalkeeper, and this team can easily beat you in any day. Atletico Madrid won against Barcelona, the Supercopa de España semifinal, and it was ridiculous, man. I don't think, despite the fact that Barcelona dominated the game, they still won. So you can't just rule it off. You can't rule Atletico Madrid off at all. You got to give them a chance, and not at their very best, they can still trouble you. As for my prediction, all right, and before we get to the prediction, I'm going to say this: Liverpool, Atletico Madrid they're going to probably look to counterattack Liverpool, which could be the weakness Liverpool may have in this game, is that having the counterattacks and the fast pace of Atletico Madrid, and that could really hurt them. Although I will say this: Liverpool's defense is good too. Liverpool's defense is very good. Alisson Becker, Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andy Robertson. These guys can stop you, And one of the things that's also crucial for Liverpool is Trent Alexander-Arnold, because he can make tons of assists, and you always want that from your right back to give you tons of crosses. And I didn't realize how important it was until very recently, and you rely on your right back and your left back for your crosses, And I think, overall speaking, Liverpool just looked a lot better team. I'm sorry to really straight admit this, but they're basically the complete team. While Atletico Madrid have their identity crisis, where they don't really have an identity this season. They're kind of just all over the place, And it's understandable. They have a lot of big players. They had a lot of big players depart over the summer with Antoine Griezmann. That was obviously a big departure. Diego Godin, their long center back, and Filipe Luis. These are the notable ones, of course, and there are probably some other ones that also left as well that are notable. But I think there are probably some other ones that also left. But I'd say these 3 are the most notable and probably the most damaging as well, because without these 3, this team is really screwed, And of course, João Felix is set to miss the first leg against Liverpool in the Wanda Metropolitano, which could be big because This is the place where I could see them easily getting a result. They could easily get a result here. However, they're going to have to go to Anfield, and I don't even know if they can pull. I mean, Liverpool have a very good record at Anfield. They've never lost at Anfield. I don't think they've lost at Anfield since like 2017. Like, it's been a while. It's been a while. And I don't think Atletico Madrid are going to be that kind of team. I don't think they're going to do that. All right. And so this leads to my score prediction. All right. I predict Liverpool to win this over the 2 legs, a 3-1 win. Okay. It's a very low score. I think this game could easily be. It's pretty much the same score against Bayern Munich last year in the round of 16. I think the first leg will finish in a 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw at the Wanda Metropolitano. And a 2-0 win at Anfield. I think 2-0 win at Anfield is pretty realistic to say. And a 3-1 win is probably as comfortable as, well, maybe not comfortable is the right word, but probably as close as I can get, you know? Like I said, guys, the aggregate scores I'm kind of basically doing for fun to see how close I am to the real score. And yeah, before we head off though, Jurgen Klopp has never lost a 2-legged tie in the Champions League, which could be very essential because with the way Liverpool is playing, they could easily win the Champions League again. And I predicted them in my predictions video, 2020 predictions. They will win the Champions League again. They'll win the Premier League, the Champions League. You know, a double. And so yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. So that is that for match preview 1. Okay, remember I will have a match preview for every single match in the Champions League round of 16. Stay tuned for tomorrow where I'll preview Borussia Dortmund versus Paris Saint-Germain. All right, and the players to look out for in this game, I would say, are as follows. For Atletico Madrid, Jan Oblak, Morata, and Herrera. I think these guys are going to make some big. These guys are going to be big for Atletico. In Liverpool, I would say the big players are Alisson Becker, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I would say Mohamed Salah. Okay, I think these 3 are going to be the big ones. I'm not really sure Mane will be fit, and I'm not sure if he'll be here in the Champions League or not. I mean, maybe he might. He might. Okay. Regardless, even if he's not playing, I still fancy Liverpool to win this one. Regardless. So, hope you guys are with you guys. Peace out.